afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Heroes like Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to another exciting, riveting 1 versus 1 on Simoski. Within the south, we got Chun fighting for America, freedom, democracy, the nuclear family life. Taking on the role here of the 2nd Infantry Division here with rifle, recon support, and heavy cavalry with double rifle start here. Versus the north, you got Ikab fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, with the Grenadier MG42 start here. Chun is very much a veteran American player. Plays them a lot. He's a very aggressive American player as well. The sort of type that you see they really snowball you if you're not careful. I've certainly struggled with him a lot personally versus Chun. So we got him moving out there. We got elite troops also from here. Mobile defense for Ikab. Molten Panzer 1st Infantry versus Rifle Company. Recon support. Heavy cavalry there with triple infantry for Chun. All doctrines to the left. Early aggressive play. And a lot of American players in Simoski, by the way, tend to choose Rifle Company. So I'd not be surprised to see Chun go for that one. Adding some flamethrowers early on. Because in the center of Simoski, flamethrowers are great. And then just, try and solve for an E8, at least pull fast through that, and then finish off with the E8, possibly. I mean, recon support, heavy carry also options, but on Simoski, like, I'd almost say 9 out of 10 American players always go for Rifle Company if they got it. MG42 advancing. But see, in fact, this is actually a nice opening move here by Ikab. I mean, he sort of avoids, I think, the lot of players make, which is just they push down here, narrow default, doesn't really move anything, does protect the fuel. But Ikab again is swinging his entire force through the northwest. Again, it's a long route, and I know some players do not like taking these longer routes, but it's sort of it's much harder for Chun to just lock him down because it's sort of much wider. It can also help protect him with his fuel points. Again, it sort of serves two roles because if we sort of went through here, his fuel point is very open, and as more players again are realizing, hang on, and harassing the enemy fuel point is great, this sort of helps protect against it. So, I mean, overall, this is a sort of really good move on a lot of moves, and I wish more players would actually open up with Simoski like Ikab does. I wish a lot more would do so. Chun aiming for triple rifleman here. MG42 Grenadiers advancing. Wilson's being flanked here by the Grenadiers for a few moments. Chun's rifleman sneaking about here. We got Southern's fuel from scored first now. He was actually focusing much on the centre, perhaps a bit risky there for Chun. And the 2nd Infantry got Wilson falling back under pressure here from the Pioneers to the Grenadiers. My God, Sigurd Ludwig! Kill all of them! Sigurd Fritz! Kill even more of them! More of them! Yeah, but how are we supposed to do this? I don't know. You don't care. Just shoot! Shoot! Rifleman up near the Grenadiers. More on the way there for Chun. And we can see that sneaking up rifle squad here. While Ikab again is sort of pushing west hard. He does leave a blind spot here, and Chun is very quick to sneak upon that. Very good move there by Chun. Even slightly inadvertently, he could hit the calf point. That's like what he's going to do first. Much easier to cut off, and then he can just move for the fuel point. So really just leaving Ikab there, having to run after insects creeping around behind the power lines. Rather than falling back, so northern mission is almost secured, and he's going to just have it all soon cut off in a few seconds. 4th Grenadiers got the free cup. Could indicate a tier 3 rush here versus Chun. Could very well indicate that. And the south mortar sitting out there for Chun, full of freedom and democracy. Grenadiers standing about there, grabbing territory. MG42 setting up as well. They got the northern point almost there. And the 4th Grenadier squad is done there. So we can see so far Ikab is just going to line perhaps on that one. Grenadier squad is pushed up here. More setting up. MG42 ready to flank in the rifleman. Ooh, I don't think Chun was expecting that one. Nice aggressive move there by Ikab. Very nice. Pioneers to have to retreat, but there you go. Opening up with MG42 on the rifleman, easily flanking them, leaving them also exposed. Nice move there. Nice move. Catching, I think, Chun there utterly unprepared because who uses the MG42 like that? Ikab does. And we got here choice of doctrine for Ikab. It is elite troops. Very conventional choice here against the Americans. Most American players, just like how a lot of Americans will on this map go for Rifle Company versus Americans, most American players will go for elite troops if they got it, because you really want the concussive grenade that versus the rifle. I just managed to keep scratching my fingers, bitten by a mosquito during the night. It really itches in a sort of painful way. Can't keep myself from scratching it like the idiot I am. And is dealing with the reactions though. No tech up yet for Ikab. Obviously again he's planning the tier 3 rush, it's less important. Of course needs to get the fuel connected, bunker up. But so far there, Ikab's pulling ahead here versus Chun, keeping a bit on the defensive. A lieutenant for Chun, aggressive, and again very much part of Chun's modus operandi. Chun could keep tagging up people again. It's going to be a bit more tricky here, though. Of course, a smoke screen could sort of help facilitate a push through there. You could just try and bombard the machine gun there. Or you could switch through in a bigger push for the eastern side that way. Sneak up behind Ikab that way. I mean, that is a possibility. Medic bunker up. Take up on the way. D33 is available. That'll likely first be the medics, obviously, for the medic bunker. Sneaking up here, hitting at least one cough. But no, here, Chun's not really cutting off a lot. Now we can see Ikab might like to be sticking here towards Chun's fuel point. Cheeky. We'll see that successfully, yes. But now we can see, though, Ikab's front line is being a bit denuded of infantry, being only a few units of maintain of otherwise white front line. This is where half-track would be helpful, a command bunker. Meanwhile, though, Chun sort of strikes through, hitting all of the vital artery points, if you will, in the supply network. Mort on the way there for Ikab. I mean, with this kind of a heavy tier 1, it certainly indicates, I feel, heavily that he's planning a tier 3 rush. Again, very common with Amax strategy increasingly, as a lot of players, I think, have lost faith in tier 2, which again, a lot of players, in me, to an extent, feels transitory. Though I might have a replay in the near future that might highlight just the power of Panzer Grenadiers. Actually, a bit tier 2. Intense thing about the before turning up, the lieutenant about to walk into that, and there we go, suppressed. Nice up there. Calf point is reconnected there. Though again, not connecting a lot so far. Close losing Grenadier squad hits the rifleman. And one Garant sitting out from between the trees. And there go roughing it off. Chun almost fully dodges it, but loses Johnny to the explosion there. Lieutenant suffering minor losses to the MD-42. And is finally forced to concede and retreat. Nothing further here again. Tier 3 rush, though fuel wise he is a bit behind. Chun going for the ambulance. He might in fact himself be pulling ahead for something faster there. No light vehicles for him. You could also go for weapon action, even grenades. Like, there's a few options on a map like this. The interesting note, he hasn't pulled for Rifle Company much against my at least initial prediction. I mean, he could still do it, but usually on a map like this, you want to go for the flamethrowers early so you can really just begin burning through those krauts. Almost got the northern fuel point there. Cutting Ikab up from his fuel point once more. West Chun has not really been harassed in that regard yet. Chun following up here with the 50 car with the Mardus. The Daka. Just retreating. And we got the ambulance ready to heal them. Weapon action on the way. This is going to be certainly switching up there more aggressively here versus Ikab. Who can actually now begin taking for the next tier. He can soon go there. There we go. BARs with plenty. The Browning automatic rifle, actually a World War I era weapon, was sort of imagined they sort of walk across no man's land, firing them, slowly. That sort of weapon there sort of ended up being used more like a light machine gun in World War II. Though with a very small magazine, and only I think 20 rounds in it. Fun fact there. But it was essentially the squad weapon, though. It was not sort of really used directly as organic part of the squad. They put more sort of put away as sort of a separate 3-man team. I think even 2-man, 2 or 3-man. I can't quite remember. A little fun fact there about the BAR. Rifleman turning eastwards, got the BARs up in them. So far, with the amount of munitions he's got, he's only got 1 BAR on every infantry squad, which of course means he's not be able to concentrate it, but it does mean it is sort of evenly distributed. So that way you can sort of get some firepower here and there without necessarily needing any sort of front, with less firepower. So this, you can sort of consider it either way. I mean, either way he's not going to be punching heavy in one spot, but on the other hand, he's sort of got reasonable amount of strength everywhere he pushes. So, there's merits to both ways. Merits to both ways. And I mean, he's sort of just, planning on heavily outmaneuvering. I mean, going for more BARs, just some more widely spread out, is not a bad idea at all. Ikab could consider some stormtroopers here. He's considering another MD-42, and he's still not taking. I mean, he's clearly, tier 3 rushing, but it's happening a bit, I think, too slow for my taste. He was actually now able to Chun's fuel there. Good. Good, and Chun should probably try and take up as soon as possible as well. He still hasn't gone for a doctrine now. He still has yet to sort of make a decision in that department. Rather than flanking up behind the Grenadiers. Getting a kill there in poor class. We got the enforcing up, putting negative cover against the BAR building. Oh, Grenadiers flanking up behind, and that's going to be a treat there for the Rifleman. There we go, Rifleman hit off. Very nice work there. Nice work by Ikab here, and the I didn't actually mention the division for them. 17th SS Panzergrenadier gets from Belgium, which was largely made up of ethnic Germans from Hungary, meaning they didn't actually speak very well German, or very good German. Amongst other things, the division will suffer from a lot of systemic issues throughout the war, and in many cases the German army considered just disbanding it and handing out the equipment to better divisions in better need of it. Fun fact. Fun fact. Got ME42 Grenadiers mortaring down the sort of smaller communication route there. Again, what to sort of consider it. The other one is Clan Corridor, but this sort of, our way highlights as being less important compared to this one, which is sort of the main marching road, if you will, or main attack route for the northern player. Take him down there. He can build up support core now. That's going to take a bit of while to get out some armor. Either way, he is pulling ahead of Chun there in the armor department. And Chun, very importantly, has nothing there. I mean, he can go for some bazookas if it comes down to it, but he has got zip in the busting tank departments right now. And there you go. Ikab and the 17th of this, they got the support co-op mortar raining down. The lieutenant's about to get wiped out. Pretty good development there for Ikab. There you go. Dead. I mean, he can easily replace it with manpower and he is floating it, but still, that kind of hurts. The only way it could have been worse right now if he just had to do the BAR there to Ikab. And the 17th SS, which is a fun fact, was actually initially supposed to be named Charlemagne, but it turns out the French SS volunteers wanted that name, so instead went it for a German mercenary commander. Amongst other things, was known for having an iron gauntlet, very sort of good prosthetic actually for the time. Who also apparently liked really using his heavy crossbow as a club, beating people silly with that one. He was also really into extortion. But there you go, we got recon support from Chun, and we got here on our Pathfinder. Let us open up here for the airdrop combat group, providing the anti-tank and pads necessary to provide anti-tank support. So, not a bad choice there. I mean, recon support does get chosen quite often in alongside the lieutenant, just that way, make up for the lack of otherwise, organic anti-tank there. And we can see Ikab planning up for further sort of long-term planning here with the fuel cache, providing more fuel for his panzers. Germany. What do you have an ME42 mortar? Good set up there by Ikab. Getting reinforcement here. Chun could go for the airdrop combat group. Probably should consider it strongly. Mortar moving up there. Oh, got the German mortar. Quite a loss there for Ikab. Quite a loss for Ikab. And there you go. Got a Greyhound out now for Chun, delaying his own tack. Ooh, I think you should have gone for the airdrop combat group personally. I mean, the Greyhound does offer him, basically cavalry, something like to just rush through with. Maybe run down Ikab and the 17th SS a bit, but I'm not entirely sure again he wanted to expend the fuel on that right now, when he's so close to be able to get pushed up with armor. And again, really should rather want an anti-tank gun instead. But that's that now. Ooh, flank didn't quite work out. This guy need more support. This is where the Greyhound probably is doing better, and he's probably got moving in there. Yes, indeed, more supporting. Flanking in here with the INR Pathfinders, Intelligence and Reconnaissance, by what it stands for. Troops bringing in, the mortar firing down the Grenadiers. ME42 flank pushed back. Mortar exposed. Oh, scheisse. This actually means Chun's going to have two mortars now. He can actually still hit Ikab's mortar. On the other hand, Ikab's going to have a Panzer IV, and Chun's going to have, well, a Greyhound to try and stop it. So there you go, double mortars for Chun. This is going to be a real nasty problem for Ikab. Depending how Chun gets up a mortar battery to that, we just pummel Ikab's troops and support them in submission. Chun, though, really needs to drop an air combat group in there. He needs the anti-tank gun. He really needs the anti-tank gun. Well, he's going to need it really much in a few moments. And there you go, Panzer IV running for Ikab. For Germany. SS did not have access to those, by the way. They had Stug Force. Not quite a Panzer IV, Mardus. Fun fact is, they were supposed to have had Yak Panzers instead of the Mardus, but by the time of in the fighting in Normandy, they did not have them. They arrived later and actually used in the defense of Paris, I believe, or something like that. would be subsequently lost there. Alongside the 12th SS hit the Jugendjagd Panzers, which were also late for the fighting in Normandy. There we go. As soon as the Panzer IV hits, he does calling his also taking up here. Good. Though again, I would say a bit too late for Ikab. He could have prepared better. And again, an early paratrooper squad is not exactly something, you know, Chun should, you know, be scared of having. Because the paratroopers are pretty good. So there you go. Got some of those Sky Boys in. MG42 against M4. Ooh. Cancer shot. They didn't quite do as much. But still forcing Ikab's MD42 crew there to have to retreat. Ooh, if he gets a wipe on that, which is very likely, that's going to be really lost there for Ikab because they're not lost just a mortar, but an MD42 here to Chun and the 2nd Infantry Division. Got the mortar though. Too slow to retreat there. Nice little recovery there by Ikab, but the might lose a Grenadier squad here. He's going to Panzerfaust. Yeah. He realised that will not work out and... Ooh, no. In this case, it's lucky Chun does not pursue. We got the Panzer IV rushing in to try and assist the Grenadiers. Blazing in. Here comes the cavalry. Yeah. Greyhound's going to go down. Anti-tank gun not moving. Infantry not moving. Paratroop equipped with bazookas. Sound indicates that Chun is slightly panicked here. I think to the right of the Panzer IV, but sadly not panicked enough to get his stuff moving. Oh, Greyhound actually somehow survives that, but yeah, not for long. Hitting the southern fuel point there. Good move by Ikab. Chun seems to have just forgotten everything in his base here. Not fully aspirational. And, well, he's got the MG42. But again, he did lose the mortar. Needs to retreat from him before the Panzer IV puts a very permanent end to that. Yeah, he's going to lose the rifleman there unless he's really lucky. And he was not. Paratrooper still not moving. Most of the stuff is still not moving. Seems like Chun might be a bit frustrated. Oh, good God! He might almost lose the rifle squad there. But they do manage around the corner, and finally the rest is moving, but the anti-tank still remains inert, static. Oh! Ooh, that was close. Almost got the rifle squad there, but luck favor in this case. Chun, the troopers lay down a volley of bazooka rockets, taking off a few chunks of health there on the Panzer IV. Choosing northwards here, cut by the MD42 there. Hitting the southern fuel there. We got 50 cal versus MD42. Is going to need some armor support or something else to sort of tip the tides. And so if it does not pursue further up the paratroops, you need to keep the Panzer IV away. And let me get a 2nd Panzer IV for Ikab. He keeps pushing that, which already is successful here. Very good move. 17th SS continues to requisition support from the 2nd SS, which was in the nearby vicinity providing armor support, I believe. Rather need to retreat. Actually, 2nd Panzer Division, not 2nd SS. And the MD42 actually retreats in the face of a pinned down 50 caliber. That's gotta feel a bit bad. Mortar recruit there by Ikab and the 17th SS, which, as a fun fact, could not even get full trucks full of its Panzergrenadier battalion. So basically, one in every regiment battalion that is actually were mounted on bicycles. You don't get to hear that one a lot. 2nd Panzer IV there out for Ikab. Mortar push back. Come on, Carl, you can do it. Just lift the BRR just a bit higher. There we go. Just the crouch ran now, but you know, I'm sure you scared them real good, Carl. I'm sure you scared them real good. But we need them dead, Carl. Not scared. Decent hit on the Panzer IV. But his paratroops are a bit too exposed. No grenades as of yet. They might have soon enough. Paratroops get a grenade against the Grenadier squad there. Rough enough against the rock, but then heavy cover, so they should be mostly safe. Chun can soon go for a Sherman, though he could, of course, also go for the Jackson. It's a good job there, but Chun again hitting the fuel point, denying Ikab his precious fuel, and the Panzer IV on the hand is denying Chun his precious men. Reporting target destroyed. Target was very squishy. Target back for mercy. Target was denied mercy. Shaman on the way there for Chun. M4A3. Ikab though is very low in macro right now. He's also flooding a lot of manpower here. I mean, I hope he's not playing for a Tiger who's right now because he's ages away from that. At least go for some stormtroopers or build some caches or bunkers. Don't float 800 manpower, Ikab. Don't float 800 manpower. That's a bit not cool, man. Mortar loading out here with the rifle in the centre. Casualties piling up. Run into here a 50 cal, which is a considerable issue here for the infantry and the machine gun. Not so much for the Panzer IV. And Chun does not have any anti-tank weapons nearby. No paratroopers, bazookas. No M1 anti-tank gun. What went just sort of slightly floating through the sky and got the infantry back then. The name of Deutschland. A successful high explosive round making short work of M1 and setting up here. Good hit on the Panzer IV, but being flanked by it instead. Coming in here. Oh, right next to the Panzer IV. Who spots the element first? There we go. Bazooka team nearby. So we could see the Panzer IV going down. Rocket there. Some connect, most don't. Sherman down to half health. Panzer IV there outmanaging the anti-tank and still. Only one bazooka bar way on the anti-tank. We got the petrol up there. M1 down. Mortar could be next. Chun's not retreating. You think there's too much going on for him. Could get the Panzer IV here. Pop smoke. Pop smoke. Sherman misses. Bazooka team's going in. Sherman going in. Need to be careful though. There we go. Almost got. There we go. Sherman goes down. Chun got too eager there. Wanted to get it, but he does get the Panzer IV still. Losing his Sherman for that. I don't think it's frightfully good in the current circumstances. In particular, since Ikab could just call in another Panzer IV. And he just blitzes away with it. He does not take any chances. Good work there by Ikab, though I think that was a clever decision, at least the sane one. I mean, you don't want to lose a Vetchi 2 Panzer IV when you just, lost a regular Panzer IV and you just got a tank out commission. Close to losing a Grenadier squad here. Very close there, but not quite any luck there for Chun. Not quite any luck. Southern Fuel Panel being harassed successfully by Ikab. 900 still floating it. Need to be careful. Going for another MG42. Good. INR Paths and landed good hit on the MG42. And we got the rifle trying to flank behind before we got retreat there. Depends what we fixed up. His anti-tank teams are nowhere to be seen, so they can actually take advantage of this being sort of spotted like this. Curiously doesn't pull his Saints base safely. I mean, he might of course just be able to use this as a counter harassment, but say imagine for whatever reasons Chun was moving out his anti-tanks up there by just say sheer accident. I mean, that could result in a bit of problems there for the Panzer IV. Oh, wait, we got the other moving about. Anti-tank and get to be crewed. That should, I think, definitely be a priority here, though, for Chun. Getting that M1 back in action. There we go. Bazooka hits and the Panzer IV almost taken out there. Almost taking it out. Panzer IV shoots. Doesn't quite hit. We got the MG40 sitting up there. Another Panzer IV ring, but the M1 then back in action. Ooh, right into the side of the Panzer IV. And the Panzer IV eventually to the successfully escapes. 21 kills for the fatherland. Ooh, right into the rifle and then a tank rifle grenade, damaging his engine. But Chun does not have any way of actually finishing it off though, so that kind of works out there for Ikab. Kind of, but not massively. Kind of. Panzer IV, they're heading back, and the South 5th Club advancing. Pioneer for Ikab to help repair all of his Panzer IVs. Good work. Gute Arbeit. Definitely a big loss for Chun losing his Sherman. Really costly in the sort of situation he was in. And honestly, a bit of a senseless loss there. But he can go for another one now. He could also try and set up for the Jackson. There's also the secondary option, just trying now for another airdrop combat group, another paratrooper squad, maybe this time with Brownings, and then just, of course, the other anti-tank gun. So, I mean, there are options there for Chun. There are options. And I definitely think another anti-tank gun would be a pretty healthy choice here for Chun. Plus another paratrooper squad maybe with brown light machine guns would not be a bad one either. Fixing up that one. Getting reinforcement. Weapon max up with bazookas for Chun. Rifle grenade off. Troops falling back. Almost wiped. Mortar farmers taken out there. Back here, nothing further going on there for Chun. Except a bit of healing. I think at this stage Chun is just aiming for the Jackson tank destroyer. Better range, more able to take on the Panzer IVs. Getting off against the MD-42. But we got another one coming, plus of course the Panzer IV. Almost losing the paratrooper squad. They're not good. That MD-42 has not been picked up by anyone, and I mean we're seconds away there from a Jackson for Chun and the 2nd Infantry. Pathfinders finding a path straight to hell as the encounter veteran 3 on the disc with G43s. And they're going for a recruit right in front of the MD-42, stopping the MD-42. Good lord, and there you go. Chun with the M36 Jackson here versus Ikab. Troops are healing and enforcing. Jackson almost down there for Chun. But Ikab at this stage could very well be playing for the Tigers now. Can these versus Rifleman. Panzer IV, they're taking some lighter damage. 2nd Panzer IV moving in here for Ikab. Damaged engine. Got the M1 moving up. Got the M1 moving up. But will it be fast enough? I'm not entirely sure here. Third Panzer IV for Ikab. So he's clearly not, I think, at this stage aiming for a Tiger Ace. Realising he just go for a lot of Panzer IVs, and that's going to do the job a lot better. It's being lost here for Chun's anti-tank push to fight. Paratroops, they give him that light machine gun, trying a bit to solve these grenadiers. Pineapple grenade off, and almost got the grenade instead, gets hit by a grenade. More troops being in, mortar, rifleman. No machine guns, no machine guns. He's keeping that one way too stacked. He needs to be more aggressive, more active with his machine guns here versus Ikab's infantry tactics. Double pioneer here, mortar fire rain down on the rifleman, on the Germans. Corpses piling up here south of the cemetery. What a mess. Rifle grenade almost takes out a rifle squad there. Jackson was in. Panther IV rolling up. We got the bazooka team. So there we go. Good hit on the Panther IV. Good hit. Double bazookas. Panther IV down to half health. Jackson's shot, but missed. Pop smoke gets away. Shoots. Misses. Other Panther IV repairs. Could probably try and pop in the reaction into the house. Then follow up with the Jackson. Got pretty close in terms of victory point between Chun and Ikab. Not sure we didn't pop the reactions into the house. So they're trying to get out in the open. That definitely feel like a poor decision there by Chun, to be honest. Tactically would have been a lot harder to kill for the Panzer IVs even inside of the house compared to out in the open. Does something up. There you go. We got the 3rd Panzer IV catching, I think, Chun off guard, and his Panzer IV. No support. He's going to lose the Jackson. We got the paratrooper bazooka team moving in. Good hits, but it's not going to be enough to save the Jackson with this. Ikab, I think, seals the fight. He's got 3 Panzer IVs. Chun's got barely any anti-tank weapons there, I think partly due to some poor decisions, tactically and strategically. He might be able to get the Panzer IV, but of course the issue still, there's an almost 53 Panzer IV here for Ikab. Main gun out. Also, he was way too passive in case I think using his machine guns against Ikab. Also, I think a tactical error there by Chun, to be honest. Compared to Ikab, I feel just was generally sort of more active in his machine gun usage versus Chun. Of course, much to his benefit, I think, in several engagements. Occasionally, sometimes it went wrong, but there are a lot of cases where just having the MD-4 too close to the front line really played out in a lot of vital engagement versus Chun. There you go, into tank gun dead. Good night to you, you little shit. There you go, Penfold Blitz. He's going to try and blitz through the riflemen. He's going to try and blitz crush them, which is actually really difficult to pull off with the Penfold, to be honest. Like, I can't seem to get it to work either. Like, they always just easily bounce out of the way. But there you go, land a good hit. 32 kills. Damage ending. We got the doubling machine gun setting up there to support the Panther 1. They're going to DSC it. Bazooka team moving from the north, going to flank the Panther 4. There you go, double machine guns opening up there on at least one of them. Panther 4 joins in the fun. And we got a cluster bomb here on the double MG42s. But will it be enough for Chun? Will it be enough? I don't think so. Cemetery completely cluster bombed there by Chun. Rifle grenade off, fails. And with this, Chun surrenders. A loss for America, a victory for Germany. A nasty battle here in Samoski again, I think, highlighting partly just also the good that he's just taking this route here on North Samoski instead of just trying to pull for here. An overall good play for Ikab, hitting the fuel point, using machine guns aggressively. I mean, overall, he did, I think, a lot of the things you are supposed to do right as the Valmont here versus Chun, who while initially again sort of doing all right, so the struggle here, this is the mid game. I think uses machine guns too passively in comparison. Didn't use his doctrine, very efficient, was also a bit slow in it, and I think he didn't quite, I think, see far enough. He made some, I think, strategic mistakes here with Ikab, which Ikab was able to more than happily exploit. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell a friend, so share it with everyone. Links in the video description. You can send in replays of your own. Please do provide links around the leaderboards, match details, and so on. This is Impernian signing off, and see you all another time for another video. Cheers.